The Golden State Warriors are home. And the question is the Warriors franchise as we know it and have come to know it also in a home for those that we know always happens when a dynastic run comes to an end. They go to a resting home where we will then now remember them and compare future teams that make 6 consecutive NBA finals.
Wow.
You know, or pardon me, my bad, 5 consecutive NBA finals, winning 3 of them. And they won 4 finals and going to 6 over a lengthy stretch. After taking Steph Curry out of Davidson and building a franchise and getting Draymond Green from Michigan State and adding Klay Thompson, and three-pointers were raining from everywhere, and Andre Iguodala is doing some great things coming from the veteran point of view, and a perfect brew for Steve Kerr to mix it all together and for them to win championships and to add Kevin Durant, to have somebody of Kevin Durant's quality say, I'm going to join the team that I was unable to beat when I was in Oklahoma City. I'm going to get some rings there. Ring chase, whatever you want to call it. They were one of the most dynastic teams we have seen. And up there with the Shaq, Kobe, Lakers, and obviously when you talk dynasties, it's all in comparison to Michael Jordan's Bulls. But this team, you could say, now today, having been one and done as a 10 seed in a play-in tournament game in which Klay Thompson, unfortunately, scored no points on 10 shots, didn't score a single point, and him having a potential exit visa of his own right there in front of him, as he's walking off the court in Sacramento last night, he took it all in. One of those moments that was reminiscent of me, of remembering, I was recalling Aaron Rodgers strolling off the field at Lambeau Field after being eliminated by the Lions in the final game of the season 2 years ago. And you got a sense as he put his arm around Randall Cobb that he knew it was over for him in Green Bay. You got to wonder if it's over for Klay in Golden State. And that was put to Steve Kerr last night when he stepped to a microphone and was asked if the Warriors dynasty was in fact over.
You invest so much in the season, and there's so much that goes on. It's so emotional. It's the highs and lows of this business are incredible. That's why we're all kind of addicted to it. You can't find this anywhere else in life. I know I can't. And you have to absorb the lows. We've been really blessed here with amazing players and, multiple championships and finals appearances and the highest of highs. And this is the flip side. This is life. This is how it works. You don't get to stay on top forever. So what happens this summer and going into next year, we'll worry about that later.
And when asked about, do you want Klay back, he gave a full-throated answer of yes, that despite Klay having a tough night, that Klay stands for something and represents something and is something that the team is all about and can't do without. Steph Curry was asked that very question about his teammate and fellow Splash brother.
I could never see myself, not with those two guys. I understand this league changes and there's so many things that go into it, and we're not going to play forever, but, we've experienced so much together, and at the end of the day, again, I know they want to win, I know I want to win, and that's all I'm worried about.
And it's tough to say this, but I'll say this, that you could make a case that the dynasty ended when Kawhi and the Raptors beat the Warriors in Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals. And in that game, Klay, despite leading the Warriors in points, blew his knee out. and then trying to come back in 2019. In 2020, he blew his Achilles out. And in between that, Steph Curry broke his hand. And the team got only 5 games out of Steph Curry and wound up with the second overall pick. And unfortunately for them, 1 pick away from Anthony Edwards, they chose James Wiseman. You could make that case that stretch could have, if they were either healthy or in not being healthy, got with the good fortune of having the second overall pick, somebody that was another stupendous franchise cornerstone player. And instead, James Wiseman, as we all know, is trying to make it with the Detroit Pistons right now. You could make that case that was it right there. Because Klay's not been the same since. He has just not been the same guy since. And last night is just an indication of that. And maybe he'll be back with Golden State, because I don't know which franchise is going to give him the bag. What, the rumor is Orlando would be doing something like that?
But no, who knows?
You have to think about it. You got to swallow hard, that's for sure. And, I understand. I'm sitting here saying a dynasty was over from in 2019 and 2020, and they went ahead and won the NBA Finals and won a championship 2 years ago.
Right, that was amazing.
But that's because Jordan Poole, who they drafted in the 2019 draft, 28th overall, took the opportunity of Klay Thompson being out and then rehabbing to have a breakout season.
Yeah.
And they also, Golden State, made a smart maneuver to add Andrew Wiggins. And Wiggins had his best season when Poole had his best season, and Curry was still Curry, and Draymond Green is still Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson was still trying to rehab his way back, and Steve Kerr is Steve Kerr, and voila, you have yourself an outlier, which is kind of crazy to say, championship season from a dynasty that I think was over. They made 5 straight NBA Finals. Durant leaves. Klay Thompson gets totally crushed by the injury bug. Even Curry goes out to a point where they're fortunate enough. Remember, we were all thinking, isn't this incredible? Because Klay will be healthy, Curry's going to be healthy, Draymond is Draymond, and they now have the second overall pick in the draft. And look out, world. James Wiseman out of Memphis. Didn't happen. And now Klay might be, he's not entering the clubhouse, but he's on the back 9. And all of them are on the back 9.
Yeah, Steph Curry's 36.
I just don't know how this... can Kuminga suddenly play
man. He's nice.
Big? Can he suddenly play big? Is he the guy that they're going to hand all those minutes and hopes to? Can he be the guy for Steph Curry late in his career? Because I don't know. That's the problem. That's the conundrum. That's the question about the Golden State Warriors, and the guy who was their architect is now sitting with the Washington Commanders when he's not on the air on ESPN and Bob Myers.
Yeah. What a crossover, too, by the way.
And so their architect is gone. The Klay Thompson Splash Brother is gone. He's still there, but the guy who we used to see he's gone. And Charles Barkley said it with plain English last night. You're not going to get better as you get older. This league is for young people, not old people.
Yep.
Now, LeBron can sit there and go, I'm the 7th seed, and I'm going to show the defending champs what an old guy, an OG, can do. But I think, again, he's an outlier.
Yeah, he's an anomaly.
You could make the case that the Warriors' run has been over for years.
Well, they did win.
They won it all, I don't know. Looking back, they missed the playoffs 2 years after winning their going to their 5th straight final. Then comes that 1 year, and then they get bounced in the second round by the Lakers last year. And this year,
I don't know.
They're out.
I honestly
one
thought
and
you were
done.
going to say it was over when Draymond's fist hit Jordan Poole's
You could make
face.
that case, too. I didn't even mention that. That was October 5th, 2022. I have it written down here.
Yeah.
And that was right after they win it all.
Right.
And he hits Poole in the face. But I don't know. By all the deep dives that you see, and you see Jordan Poole's play with the Washington Wizards. I mean, there's a lot of road for Poole to be. I'm not saying he deserved to be hit in the mouth.
No.
But there was an iceberg that we didn't see underneath, and the only tip we saw was the fist.
I mean, your teammate knocks you out. That might send me on a spiral as well, and might affect my play.
That is correct
the following
too.
year.
I'm just, I guess, saying that not all is well and hunky dory behind the scenes there in Golden State.
Yeah.
Testament to Kerr and Curry and maybe everyone else in that front office.
Yeah.
And the minute Klay's knee gets blown out, and then he doesn't come back the next year either because he blows his Achilles out, and then you miss on James Wiseman.
But you look at that draft.
There's trust me, I looked at it.
I know.
Who else would you going to take?
Well,
LaMelo?
you're playing the results like, oh, they should have took Halliburton. Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
no one knew he was going to be that good. But
exactly.
I mean, if that's the case, you say, they should have taken Maxey. You know, like you said.
You're kind of playing.
Unfortunately, you're not redrafting. You have to. The question would be, what about LaMelo? But he's not the fit.
Right. LaMelo really wasn't a fit.
Right.
So
you're going to go with the big man who looks terrific at Memphis and see what you can do with him.
Yeah.
But looking back at it now, LaMelo would have been a fit because Klay was missing that time. LaMelo could have came,
would have been another playmaker.
Another playmaker, another guy who shoots threes.
But you didn't know what you had in Poole. You didn't expect Poole to fall off a cliff like he did.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances.
So now I don't know what the next step is, but it's a Lulu. And they're one and done.
Would you blow it up?
I don't know how you can't consider it.
Yeah. Would you trade Steph Curry?
I just couldn't do that. No.
He would have to march into an office and
say, "What? I want to go to the Lakers."
Well,
he would have to initiate it.
Yeah.
He would have to initiate it. That's the question: is if you're Steph, do you want to go? I'd imagine not.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure he loves his life and the way it is up there in the Bay Area.
He's the Tim Duncan. He's the Kobe. He's not gonna.
But you do have to really consider. Like, I don't know. When you say blow it up, I mean, who's going to take these pieces? And you'd have to really draft very well.
Right.
And the days of you getting the number one free agent to consider joining your dynastic franchise are over. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.